Hello everybody, I will try to explain and translate our EEGs because one of our subscribers want to know how can read the EEG and the epileptoform discharges and where is the focal and when is the generalized epileptoform discharges in the EEG. How can I know this? I know this because I'm an engineer with specialized of automatization of engineering technique and medical technique and technologies, and work especially in the medicine because my interest in it's understandable since my child from the birth is with medical problems. So the first EEG with I gonna translate and describe is the EEG which I'm posted last. The second and third EEG I will try to describe the seizure on the EEG, when it's beginning, when it's end, how it's involved the EEG during the seizure. So the first one EEG, the last one EEG is the EEG in the from just to get the camera. So this one is our last EEG. You can see this the list from the medical specialist. The diagnosis is about G42, localized focal partial symptomatic epilepsy and epileptic syndromes with complex partial convulsive seizures. So there is the anamnesis. From 7 months ago, the seizures have increased. They have been from a couple of days, but mainly in night time, and it's severe, and many seizures are one after another. There is recordings of a tonic phase, which extended the left arm. The right arm is flexed. Then extended the both hands with some of the tonic seizure with cyanosis. The child takes topiramate, Conarex, and Convulex hormone. Objective station. It's a recording of EEG in sleep and wakefulness. In wakefulness is registered the main activity of middle amplitude alpha rhythm with frequency of 8 per second, 8 Hz per second. In period occipital leadings, full reaction of eyes open and eyes closed. In some place there's seeing an asymmetry of activity in temporal and frontal, in which in the left side there is more slow amplitude. In right frontal and right frontal are registered. Sharp waves, photosensitive is not seeing. Hyperventilation to 5 minutes leads to a mild slowing and increasing the amplitude of the main activity. There's a diffuse slow and slow and sharp waves. In the stage of sleep, there's a synchronous and symmetric sleep element, such as sleep spindles and V waves. There are registered in the right leads. Some of the groups of sharp waves and sharp spikes in the right occipital region. In the right there is included and temporal leadings. Conclusions. There's a normal 4DH main activity in sleepiness and wakeness. There's a focal epileptoform discharge in the right occipital leadings. There's a generalized sometimes in contralateral. Suspect epileptoform discharge in right frontal. So there's the EEG and the changes in this. So how can we read the EEG? This is the first page. You can see, I'm sorry for that, but it's really hard to make the telephone and have explained. So this is the cognitive montage. There is the name of the child. Those are the date of birth, and this is the mainly filters and montage on the EEG. This EEG is on longitudinal montage. So you can see that there is the partly this is the so for more less reading, this is the left side of the head, this is the right side of the head. The odd numbers you can see is the left side of the head. The equal numbers is the right side of the head. FZ and CZ and CZ PZ is the midline. So F is the frontal head of the region. Frontal region. This is the frontal part of the brain. C central, P parietal, O occipital, T temporal. So you can see you have T3 and T5. There's a mid temporal, that's a back temporal, and occipital. So this page, what can see in this page? This page is printed for seeing the main activity. The main activity you can see that is the alpha rhythm. So this means that the person is awake. In post-dominant, that means in occipital and parietal region there is a couple of waves which is with main amplitude, and we can see that the person is awake. So the rhythm is from, how can you see, there's this one you can see, this is 1 second. One of this one split the 1 second. So there is 1 second and there is 1 second. So we can count how many waves there is in 1 second in alpha rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 per seconds. This is a little small amplitude, so you can see it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 waves. This is a little small wave. Is the alpha rhythm starts from 8 Hz. For 12-year child, the alpha rhythm must be as around of the 10-11 Hz minimum. So this is a little slowing of the rhythm. but it's not something special. And this is more than from the child's intellectual disabilities. So you can see in the alpha rhythm there is spread some of sharp waves, which is diffuse in the whole recording. Those are main from the child's metabolic disease. There is the second page with another show that another one. That's the left side of the brain, that's the right side of the brain. So you can see that the right alpha rhythm is more high amplitude. There's the left. So here is again alpha spindle in right and in left. There is some attenuation of the left side of the brain. This is again, yeah, we have a little spike and wave which are spread in different leads, so they are diffused in the whole recording. There is the beginning of the epileptoform discharges. Here is the child is in stage of drowsiness. So you can see this one, sharp waves, those spikes and wave in right frontal region, and in CZ, FZCZ again. There's sleep spindles. We can see that the child is sleeping, but in that sleep spindles we can see and here and here some V wave, really so-called vertex sharp waves. The next page. So this is very interesting. What we can see on this page. Again, I will different where is the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. So you can see there's a inner frontal, we have sharp waves, multiply spikes and polymorphic slow spike wave in frontal region. That is in the right side, we can see, and in the midline. So in the left side there is a little more, and in the right side there is complete the complex of spikes and waves with slow amplitudes. There is another one and another one. So is a group of sharp and slow waves. We're going on the next page. So, in this page, we can see some vertex sharp waves, slip spindles. There's one big spike and wave complex in frontal left region, big spike and wave occipital. You can see O1 and O1. There's a spike and wave, and in the right side another one, and in the right side another one. And we have spike and wave, spike and wave. So we can see more precise. There is the almost generalized spike and wave discharges. So here is the spike and the wave, the slow wave after it. Spike and wave, spike and wave, spike and wave, spike and wave in the almost every lead. So this is some generalized distribution. There is another things that is very visible in this page. In the right side, after the generalized distribution, there is a sharp and slow wave complexes, more than one. So you can see sharp waves, slow waves, polymorphic sharp and slow wave in the right frontal region. Similar there is in the left side of the brain, but here is a little more attenuate against the right side, which is not very, it's confusing, because the child is with the left cortical dysplasia, so she have to had epileptoform discharge in left occipital or temporal region. She have an occipital, she have an frontal region that is very hard to understand where is the main problem. So there is a group of sharp waves complexes in right occipital region. After it, there is a slip spindles, which is with diffused spread of sharp waves in whole recording. Next page. So, very good visible. Again, I will take a line between the left side of the brain and right side of the brain. There is a good seeing spike and wave complex in F4 frontal region in the right and F8. You can see it, and in the central line. Is there a little contralateral in F3? So this is the frontal spike and wave discharges in the EEG. There's many spikes and waves discharges which is spread from the whole recordings. If you again watch it. So on the next page, this is when the child is still are not sleeping. How can I know? There is, how can you see? There is a closing eyes in FP1 and FP2. What is that very interesting in that page? And again, I will take a line between the left and the right side of the brain. So you can see right after she closed her eyes, there is a burst of spikes and the polymorphic spike and wave discharges of the whole frontal region. Here is again, that's in irregular from the photostimulation of 11 Hz. There is spike and wave discharges, which is in the whole right hemisphere. See the left hemisphere, there is almost nothing. There is very attenuate amplitude. See the amplitude in the right side and the left side of the brain. That may be of her cortical dysplasia, which is placed in the left side of the brain. That's because the amplitude of the waves is so attenuated. The next page, again to photostimulation. So we can see another blinks artifact. That's closing eyes, open eyes. That's in 15 Hz. Again, I will take a line between left and right side of the brain. So you can see the very visible F4, F3 difference of the amplitude and sharpness of the waves. There's a more than 2 times biggest amplitude. Here is an 8.4. So we can see the sharp waves and another sharp waves. So we can see groups of sharp waves and sharp wave complexes with a little attenuate amplitude. But there is more sharp waves in the right hemisphere. In the left hemisphere, there is almost nothing. It's absolutely clear. There's no sharp waves. It's very strange. But because she have she has a metabolic disease. Almost everything can be expected. So let's go to the next page. Another. We have left side of the brain and right side of the brain. Again, you can see another, you can see the difference of the amplitude of the left side on the brain and right side. Also here you can see this high amplitude sharp and slow wave complexes in the right side corresponding with the sharp waves in the left side in the frontal region and parietal region. The next page. So this is the more interesting page of the all. Again, I will take the one of the left side of the brain and right side of the brain. So you can see a multiply sharp and slow wave discharges one after another in the frontal region. There is on a F4, main in FP2 and temporal region. So you can see in the temporal region, you can see the sharp and slow waves complexes. There's no such complexes in the left side. There's just a slow waves. So this is the one of the interesting page. The other things that is very interesting. Look at the FT, FP2 and FP1. See the difference of the amplitude. So we can see the artifact of the eye closure and this is an eye blink artifact. See this is FP1. See the frequency and the amplitude of the waves. This is FP2. See the frequency, sharp waves, amplitude, and the type of the waves. There is the sharp and slow waves, one by after another. So, and central parietal. This is one of the main pages which see the great amplitude between the right and left side of the brain. Another pages. Again, left side of the brain, left side of the brain, and right side of the brain. Again, see you happened in the frontal region, in the right side of the brain. there is here, and temporal region. What is happening in the left side of the brain? There is almost nothing in the front FP1 in the, you can see, there is FP1, FP2, sharpen wave, sharpen wave, sharpen wave, sharpen wave, another sharpen wave, complexes. There's a huge amplitude, multi-spikes and wave, amplitude and polymorphic wave sharps. There's some kind of muscle artifact. There is here. There is not interesting. Interesting it that focal distribution in frontal and occipital temporal region.